In the village of Bama lived a popular food vendor called Bisi. Bisi was a beautiful woman, popularly known in the village for her delicious and tasty meals. She had a food store at the village market. Bisi was very proud of her cooking and always wanted to make sure she is the best cook in the whole village. Everyone sang praises of how tasty Bisi's food was, and she had customers trooping in and out from every part of the village, including women, children, most especially married men. You know the secret and strange thing about Bisi's food? The secret is that whenever a married man tests Bisi's food, they will never want to have a taste of their wife's meal at home. They all gathered every day at Bisi's restaurant to eat from her food. Almost all the married men in the village prefers Bisi's food to their wife's food. Most times, when their wife serves them food at home, they will say, "No, I cannot eat this food. This food is not as delicious as Bisi's own. You have to learn how to cook like Bisi because I cannot be eating poison when Bisi's restaurant is there." This continued to happen in almost all the households in the village. All the married men no longer eat their wives' food. They now prefer Bisi's own. Bisi for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And this was causing a lot of misunderstandings in their homes. The men even go as far as telling their wives to go to Bisi to learn how to cook from her, because they wondered how Bisi made her meals so tasty and delicious. The wives of these married men could no longer take it anymore, and they decided to have a meeting to find out what they can do to make their husbands come back to them and start eating their meals. So, as they gathered in the village streets, they started asking each other, "What do you think we should do, my fellow women? I think we should go and find out what Bisi uses in her meal that our husbands no longer eat from us." Another woman suggested that Bisi might have a secret ingredient that she uses for cooking and that they should go and spy on her. After deliberating for some time, they decided that spying on her is not the solution. That what they would do is to go to Bisi's restaurant and humbly beg her to please stop serving their husband's food whenever they visit her restaurant. They all agreed to beg Bisi, and so they headed to Bisi's restaurant to speak with her. When they arrived at Bisi's restaurant, they started to speak to Bisi, and one of the women said, "Bisi, please, we are here to beg you. We know you know how to cook very well. You are the best cook in the village. We are not doubting that. But please, we are here to beg you to please stop serving our husbands your meal. Whenever our husband come to your restaurant, please can you direct them back home to eat our meals instead? Our husband no longer eats from us, and it is affecting our marriage. We have come to you as a woman to please help us in this situation." And Bisi responded, "What do you mean by that? Are you saying I should chase away my customers because you want your husband to eat in your house? Am I the one that said you shouldn't know how to cook? Did I drag your husbands to my restaurant to eat my food? Please, if you don't have anything meaningful to say, leave my restaurant. I am a very busy person." The women continued to plead with Bisi, but she chased them all away, telling them to go and look for how they can hold their husbands and not come back to disturb her again. The women left Bisi's restaurant feeling so frustrated and disappointed. They were helpless and didn't know what to do, and they decided to all go back home, hoping that one day the secret to Bisi's meal will be revealed and their husbands will come back to them. Bisi's business continued to flourish, with more and more customers trooping in and out, to the extent that almost all the men now gathers at her restaurant every day. A particular married woman in the village called Adeola, who her marriage is not even up to 6 months, started having issues in her home. Do you know why? Because her husband has started eating Bisi's meal. From the very first day her husband tasted Bisi's food, he no longer eats the wife's meal anymore. The woman was wondering what could be going on, and she decided to go see her father in the neighboring village to tell her father everything that has been happening. And she said to herself, I cannot take this anymore. My marriage is not even up to 6 months. Now my husband no longer eats my food. I will talk to my father to help me. The thing is that Adeola's father is a spiritualist who have the power to foresee things. And so, Adeola set out to the neighboring village to speak with her father. When she got there, she said to her father, Baba, your daughter is not happy, oh. My husband no longer eats my food, oh. There's a popular food vendor in the village of Bama that my husband now enjoys eating from. And this is causing a problem in my marriage. Baba, please help your daughter. Adeola's father set out to work immediately. He consulted his oracle and saw that Bisi is a strong case to handle, and he decided to visit the restaurant himself. Adeola's father arrived at Bisi's restaurant, and immediately his eyes locked onto Bisi's smile, and he knew that Bisi was aware of who he was. Bisi said to Adeola's father, Ah, Baba, you are welcome to my restaurant. You are just in time for a special treat. My food is the most delicious in the village. Bisi held a steaming bowl of her famous food, and Adeola's father's stomach growled in anticipation. His mouth was watering and wanted to have a taste of this food that has a beautiful aroma. But he knew better than to accept her offer. Adeola's father now said to her, You are Bisi, right? I need to speak with you. And Bisi responded with a smile, Of course, Baba. I'm always happy to help. But first, let me offer you a bowl of this my delicious food. Once you taste my food, you will never remain the same again, Baba. And Adeola's father said to her, The main reason why I am here is for you to confess, Bisi. You know what you have been doing in this village, and I am here to make sure your secret is exposed if you don't make an attempt to confess, and you will regret it, Bisi. Bisi started being harsh to Adeola's father, and she said to him, Baba, I don't know what you are talking about. In this restaurant, all we do here is sell delicious food. I'm sure you must have heard about me by now. So I don't know what you are saying. Don't come to my store to accuse me wrongly. If you want to eat, please eat. And if you don't want to eat, don't spoil my business. Just get up and leave. Adeola's father responded to Bisi, Bisi, I am warning you for the last time. You are causing so much pain in marriages through your food. Men no longer eat their wives' food. Confess now before I make it an open case. And Bisi responded, You are just being too paranoid, old man. What is all this talk about me holding people's husband? Am I the one that told their wives not to know how to cook? I don't know what you are talking about. Adeola's father saw how stubborn Bisi was, and he decided to do a silent incantation to get Bisi into confessing. And immediately he touched Bisi. Bisi started screaming, shouting, I am sorry, oh, I am sorry. Yes, 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 I will confess. I will confess, I've been using my menstrual flow to make meals to get all the married men in the village to like only my food. And this is what happened. And Bisi started narrating the reason why she started using her menstrual flow. Bisi narrated that long time ago in that same village that she was a lady in her late 40s looking for a husband. All the suitors that were coming for her all turned her down, all because of her size. And the most painful part is that all the younger slim girls in the village started mocking her. The worst one that made her decide to do this evil is that one day a suitor came to ask for her hand in marriage. When the suitor arrived, all of a sudden, he decided not to marry Bisi anymore, but instead chose a slim girl in that same crowd. Instead of the villagers to support her, they started mocking her, telling her that she's cursed and that she can never get a husband that will love her. And because of this, she decided to visit a spiritualist who told her to be using her menstrual flow into that local pot she's holding and add it into the meal she cooks every day. And any man that is married in that village that comes across her meal will never taste their wife's meal again except for her. And that was how she started using her menstrual flow as a secret ingredient in cooking. And that is why most of the married men in the village of Bama no longer eat their wife's food, but instead Bisi's food. And after confessing, she started pleading with the villagers to please forgive her, that she was frustrated and pained. That was why she went into this evil act of hers. The villagers were so mad at Bisi and they started chasing her, that they would ban her from the village and that she should never ever step foot in the village of Bama again. And Bisi was banished from the village of Bama. That was how the secret of Bisi's meal was exposed. The moral of this story is that we should all be careful of what we eat, where we eat, especially if we are not sure of the source of that meal. Secondly, we shouldn't pay evil for evil. Anything in this life, everything in this life has time, and we should always wait for God's appointed time. We shouldn't fight back with evil because we are pained or frustrated. Thank you so much for watching this story. I hope you found it entertaining. And please, if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to my channel. Please, it's a way of supporting me and helping me grow. Turn on the notifications so when I post more interesting stories, you will get to see them. See you in my next video. Bye-bye.